Hello there, very special video today. Did you notice? There is no background music. So, a few years ago, I was producing music. This is my account called Nura. It's heavily based on an anime called Nuraion no Mago, Nura the Lord of Yokai, which are Japanese demons, something like this. And I used a lot of sample from the show, all the little pictures that you see here are from the show. And yeah, there are a lot of songs, 57 songs. And not a lot of streams, but I really enjoyed making it. And I'm sure everybody knows Lofi.limo. So Lofi.limo is a website like this, on which you can listen to Lofi at any time. It's very famous. You just have to click listen, and you have some chill Lofi music. Well, guess what? Today we are building Nura radio version. And this will be the background music of this video. Look how cool it looks. So let's start and let's see how I build my own radio with Datastar. First, let's take a look at what we have on the website. You have the controls here. You can put up the sound, listen to that drop.
I always felt this place was missing a real villain.
You have the remaining time of the... Some musics are quite bouncy. Okay, let's dial that down. You have the link that you can click to go to the specific song which is played, so the SoundCloud link. Go drop a link if you have a SoundCloud account. And you see we went back, but it's like a real radio station, so the track continued to play and the remaining time is the same for everyone. If I open another window, oh no, sorry. So you can find it live at radio.leg.ovh, but the link will be in the description. And you see, we have the same stuff for everyone. Plus a minor delay, because I didn't keep the GIF in sync. We'll talk about that later. But it's very cool. We have 30 seconds remaining, which means that the next track will skip automatically. And for example, I can put the volume at 1. I can click on the image if I really want to have like the minimal stuff, so maybe to put it on a screen or something like that. 5, 3, 2, 1, next song. And I was still at 1 volume, so my controls are not moving, but the next song is playing. Alright, not bad. Let's jump into the code. Alright, so this is the HTML that you get when you visit the website. You are quite familiar with this pattern now. We are just setting up the head, importing some CSS, importing Datastar, and that's all, nothing more. And in the body, as soon as Datastar is loaded, a load request with data unload, and we'll morph stuff in the main with a big fat morph and Datastar. Let's take a look at the application. We're still using Quartz. We are using the new Python SDK, so thanks to Gaspacho King, we'll see that, fantastic work. We are still using TinyDB and we are not using Redis. I have found a way to... My first idea, maybe I can show it to you, was to, keep stream open for everybody, and as soon as a new song would come up, push that to the streams, but I found another way. So no Redis. Some basic imports. We load our secrets. We initialize the database. The main view, we are going to see the magic later. Let's see how the app is set up, and the first thing we do is create a radio station. So radio station is just a function that will keep running to put new songs. The stuff I do here with the weights is a little ponderation, so I want that if a song is played a lot, it has less chances to be played, so that everything is quite uniform. I pick a song at random using choices and the weights, and then I update the current table. Maybe it's time to take a look at how the data is done. If you take a look at data, so it's a JSON file for TinyDB, it's really readable. And you can see here the current GIF that is being played, the current MP3 with its alias and length in seconds, and the time, Unix time, at which it started. Then you have the list of GIFs, segment 1, etc. The number of time they have been played. So this has been running for quite a while now. And the same for the MP3s. So the display name, the name of the file and the link, the length in seconds, the number of time it has been played, etc, etc. So the radio station will pick a GIF at random, an MP3 at random, and will update the current state in the server. We'll see how we stream that afterwards. So back to our radio station function. So we pick a MP3 at random. Here, exactly the same stuff for the GIF. And then we sleep for the length of the song. And afterwards, because we are in a while through, another song and another GIF will be chosen. Before any request, and that is very important if you are trying to build a radio station, set a cookie indicating that the user hasn't started to play the song. So, Chrome and all browsers don't play sound by default. You can play sound on a page. You need to have an interaction with the page first. This is why in Lofilimo you have to click play, and this is why here you have this button as well. So we'll be very careful to not try to play an audio before there was any interaction from the user. The index page, I've shown the HTML already, and the famous main. Look how simple it is. We initialize, like I said, playing to 0. We get the current information from the server. We build the view based on the state in the server. And here's the magic of the new Python SDK. Return Datastar response ssc.merge fragments, and we pass the HTML, and that's it. Why are we initializing playing at 0 at every main call? Because we want to handle reloads. On reload, they consider that the user is seeing a new page and Chrome will block the audio. So we have to use two different routes. One for load, initial load and reload, and one for the updates. This second route will be called next, as you see here, and it will be very similar to the main route, but without the playing cookie. Reset. See, get the state from the database, build the view, merge fragments, and then we are going to perform some magic. I really want to show you this because the Python SDK really got beautiful. We can define a list of events. So for example here, load the video. So to load the new GIF, you change the source of the video, but you have to call some JavaScript to make it work. So we can do that and chain it. If the user was listening to something, so change the source of the audio and call some JavaScript to play it. Use merge signals to change some signals on the page to make sure that the UI stays coherent, and just look at that Datastar response event. No function definition, you just define a list of events called Datastar response events, and it works. Finally, what happens when I click on this button? There is a change. The server needs to know that I am no longer listening, so I'm not using signals for that. I will link this button to a new route called play, no pun intended, which will invert the value that we have from playing, so true to false, false to true, and then return the view with next. This way we can... There is a bit of a reload here, but this way we can track the user state in the server and have a very, very coherent user interface. Pretty nice. Alright, are you getting ready to see the magic in the main view? Okay, let's go. So, my main view is here. Alright. We are going to build the state based on what we know on the server. This is this current object. We deserialize it. We get the MP3. We get the length of the MP3, the time at which it started, and we compute the delay. So the delay between when the MP3 started and when the user actually connected to the page. And knowing this, we can also compute when the next song is due. MP3 start plus MP3 length. And the current GIF. We are doing big fat morphs. We are obviously going to start with a main element. Some signals. Rem is the remaining time, so this is what you are going to see here. I can put that information in a signal and update it with Datastar. No problem. I don't want to store that on the server. Just useful display for the user. Data signals, if missing, so that's the basic state. Volume is at 2, play is at false, and expand is at 1. Expand is a signal that will control if we are in full display or not, like this. The advantage of if missing is that it won't overwrite. For example, if the song changes and my volume was at 10, remaining will work and volume will not be overwritten. And on interval, the default interval is 1 second. We decrement the value of remaining by 1 second. And if the current time of the browser is more than the next start, meaning that the song is over, we issue an SSE request to next. And so it's really as simple as that. Just plant, I see this, plant a script, plant a bomb in a Datastar object, which will be responsible to call a new song when it is done playing. We then have our audio element for the song. I use dataref to call it audio later. The source is the reference in my server, in the static folder. And I can use, because it is hypermedia, this trick #t equals mp3 delay. This is the same stuff that you have on YouTube when you are resuming a video, for example. On signal change, I can edit the volume of the audio element by just referencing my volume signal. So I put l.volume, L meaning the stuff which is attached to this data on signal change, meaning audio, and vol divided by 10, because for volume it is a value between 0 and 1. Loop, so even if the user loses connection, the song will loop. For the background video, exactly the same trick. Autoplay, muted, loop, plays in line, reference to the static file. And I am using MP4 videos because I read a blog which said please do not use GIF. Browsers are very capable at playing and compressing videos. GIF is a really outdated format and nobody should use it. So please play a muted video on loop whenever you want to put a GIF. The videos, I just downloaded some stuff from the anime, cut it into 2-second pieces, and they play on loop, and it looks like a GIF. This one is not very beautiful, but whatever. Some title that you can see in the top right corner, neurad.io, and here we are going to put our player in the bottom. So the cover, we are using data class. I let you maybe read the code, and maybe this stuff you need to see the CSS. We are going to do this later, but it's an image, reference to the image, data on click view transition. I change the value of my expand signal, and then if my expand signal is false, I will start to hide a lot of stuff. So I will hide the button to trigger the song. I will hide what else? All other information like this. The button, I use data text to match the UI. Very simple stuff, ternary operator in JavaScript. Very basic stuff in Datastar. Data at initial is different from play. So this is to change its color. I use an attribute. On click, we have seen this route before. Make a post request to play. Some CSS styling with some classes. Now playing or listen. Datastar will decide that. The alias inside the P called title. And I'm going to use a special font for this to display the kanjis. The player, data show expand like I've shown to you. Data text. So for the remaining seconds, we can use some very basic inline JavaScript. We divide by 60 to get the number of minutes. And yes, there you have a formula to convert from seconds to minutes seconds. The volume buttons, something very simple. We just update when they are clicked the value of the volume signal. It is a bit in a loop because I relaunched the server a lot during this video, but don't worry, go check for yourself. Alright, there we are. Another volume button. The reference to the SoundCloud link, and that's it. Maybe I can show it to you inside the browser so you can see how reactive this is. Maybe what I can do as well is put up some network listening so that we will see what happens in 20 seconds. So as you guessed, a request to next and some Datastar event stream. That's all. Let's see this. Alright. So you see here, request to next. Get request to next. Chrome failed to load the response. The MP4 chunked. The new song. Some fonts that were already there. And there you have it. The audio, the video, the top, with a special font and a mix blend mode to make it look nice. And the bottom with a backdrop filter to make it look nice as well. Maybe this is a good time to go into the CSS part, because the video is almost over. We import some custom fonts, we have some colors defined, big HTML, body with overflow hidden in case something bad happens. The background video, we fix it and we make it spawn the whole screen, and we put it with a z-index of -1. The main element, we can use this grid, so to say that we want the top div to be here and the bottom div to be here. You can draw stuff in CSS. This way. This is how you do it. So the top element, you say grid area is here. Auto, so take as much height as you need. Take the remaining space with an empty stuff. Take as much space as you need here. Top, mix blend mode, color dodge, very good for text. And this nice font that I found. But grid area B, using grids to style everything. The trigger button, so we want to have some CSS animations so that it is a nice visual effect. See here. So when someone gets on the page, he knows what to click. I will put back the music. Speaker, alright. The player. I want it to be very dense, so you can use text box trim so that your text elements are really matching the font. Button, when the button is not triggered, blah blah blah. So all other buttons, we give them some styling as well. Some SVG here and here. See, really nice effects on hovering. Accent, the cover, a bit rounded, and pointer cursor so that people know it's clickable. And this is it. So what I would love is for you to go listen to my songs and maybe go to my website as well, leg.ovh. So you have a link here to all my stuff, and I added Radio Yokai. Tell me what you think of the songs in the comments. Tell me what you thought about this video in the comments as well. Sorry for being late. It's very difficult to me for me to work at the moment. So don't hesitate to make a gift to the channel and you'll get your name here. And I am trying to make my next video about how I manage my server. So tell me if that's something interesting for you. How I make the, for example, the subnames, radio.leg.ovh. Because I couldn't buy, I mean, New Radio is a fantastic song, but .io is just too expensive to buy. And well, that's it for today. Some words to conclude. This video was very important for me to make because this is a project that I've always been wanting to make, and with Datastar it was very simple to do. So thanks a lot for that. And yeah, I hope more people listen to my songs, so this was very important as well, to put it out there. As usual, you will find the code in the description, link to the GitHub. Feel free to study it, feel free to ask me questions about it. I will try to answer them. And that's it. That was video 14. We still have a lot of videos and a lot of cool projects coming with Datastar. Thank you for following the channel, thank you for subbing. Thank you to everybody in the Discord, thank you to Gaspacho King for the fantastic work on the Python SDK. Don't forget you can click this link and put a like on the SoundCloud. I am running out of things to say. Thanks everyone. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.